Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Emancipation Day is a way for people of African descent in the Caribbean to remind themselves of the struggle for freedom. English-speaking countries throughout the Caribbean celebrate Emancipation Day on August 1st. In St. Lucia, the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari is not satisfied that the observation is receiving its due respect. Lovely St. Amy Joseph reports.
The president of the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, Aaron Alexander, is sounding a call for greater focus on the observance of Emancipation Day. He says for too long, black nations have paid scant regard to the important anniversary.
We know that the Prime Minister mentioned that there was 3 million being pumped into Carnival. Mr. Prime Minister, how much is being pumped into emancipation? Tell us that. Is there any love for emancipation in this country? You know, we are already so late in the planning for emancipation. Is emancipation one of the events that if the events company of St. Lucia is responsible for? And if not, why not? And if so, then what are the plans for emancipation for this year? You know, so emancipation has always been given a back seat when it comes to this country, and it's high time these things change. It's time that the people who genuinely love emancipation and want to see it being acknowledged more, it's time that those people are given the support to make it happen.
For Alexander, it is painful to note the fanfare and extravagant planning for other observances on island, while the commemoration of Emancipation Day is treated like a blimp on the calendar, met with little to no national fanfare.
We are already on the 11th hour, so you know there's a lot of work to be done if we really have to put on an effective emancipation celebration this year. And we would like to hear from the Minister of Culture about emancipation, her thoughts about emancipation, the prominence that emancipation is supposed to be having in this society. You know, we need to hear from the Prime Minister, Mr. Alan Shastney. We need to hear your views on emancipation, what kind of support your government will be giving to such a celebration like emancipation. We need to know those things as well.
Emancipation Day is a national public holiday in St. Lucia and many English-speaking Caribbean countries. Although the holiday commemorates events that took place on the 1st of August, 1834, it may be celebrated on different days in various countries. Trinidad and Tobago was the first country in the world to declare a public holiday to celebrate the abolition of slavery, replacing Columbus Discovery Day. Emancipation Day is viewed as a reminder to people of African descent in the Caribbean that they too are sons and daughters of Africa and that their freedom came through sacrifice and struggle.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness, NEMO and PAHO, hosted a training workshop on mass casualty management, viewed as critical to avoiding fatalities and general calamity. A mass casualty incident, MCI, is defined as an event that overwhelms the local healthcare system, where the number of casualties vastly exceeds the local resources and capabilities in a short period of time. Program Development Officer, National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Andrew George, underscored the importance of such training.
You want to make sure that there is a coordinated system if there is a mass casualty incident at one of those events. With these more events, the more likelihood of having a mass casualty. We've seen it also in the number of vehicle accidents they have. We have more and more buses, we have more people, so you have more and more people being injured. We've had the explosion at the Reno quarry. That led to a mass casualty situation. That also, you have to coordinate what happens when the first responders arrive on the scene. We have 2 airports, we have seaports, we have the Point Surfing, we have a lot of places in St. Lucia where there are a number of persons come together which can lend itself to a mass casualty situation.
George says, in such situations, there can be no confusion as to the role and functions of different emergency personnel.
The National Emergency Management Office, we have recognized the need to ensure that the first responders, the persons who get on the scene first, have that capacity to, when they get on the scene, that they can all work together, they are familiar with each other, they know the expectations of each agency, they know what agencies do what, who takes charge when the situation happens, so there's less ambiguity when they get to the scene. What you don't want on the scene is for there to be any confusion as to who takes charge of the situation. Because at the end of the day, mass casualty management is doing the greater good for the greater number. And if the first responders are not sure what they're doing, it's going to lead to more chaos and more death.
Country Program Specialist St. Lucia in the PAHO WHO Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries, Tessa Stroud, says the aim is to build capacity among first responders. She says given the ever-present threat of natural disasters and the potential for mass casualties in the region, such training is vital.
We have trained instructors, mass casualty instructors, management instructors. They would now have workshops with other first responders within St. Lucia to build their capacity. You know, because they keep depending, the islands keep depending on PAHO to sponsor it. And we have to find instructors. And the person we have instructing this workshop is Mr. Burgess, and he's the regional instructor. But he cannot do all the islands, and it becomes expensive. And apart from becoming expensive, you know, money is becoming less and less. You don't have less and less money coming in now. So it'd be good for St. Lucia to be able to do their own training of their first responders.
That was the Country Program Specialist for St. Lucia in the PAHO WHO Regional Office. The endless school supplies needed by students may have some parents strapped for cash. In a bid to assist with the expensive back-to-school shopping, the St. Lucia Teachers Union has sought to distribute to its qualifying members bursaries and a scholarship to soften the blow of scholarly costs. At the award ceremony held on Thursday, 25th July, First Vice President St. Lucia Teachers Union, Don Howell, expressed his delight with partnering up with the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited to make the proceedings a reality.
We are always happy to partner with the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited to have one ceremony as we serve teachers and who are members of both organizations. We view this activity and we cherish this activity. This has been going on for a number of years, over 20 years. The SLTO have been giving this to its members. It's a form of encouraging our nation's children. It's a form of giving back to society. It's a form of supporting education in St. Lucia.
Meanwhile, outgoing Second Vice President of St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited, Bartholomew Eugene, praised the effectiveness of the joint session.
This year, again, as we have done for many years in the past, we have collaborated with the SLTU to provide bursaries to our members. We take the opportunity because basically we serve a mutual membership. And so we found it more efficient and more economical to bring them together at one point. This year we are awarding 52 bursaries to our members. And this bursary, we do it at SLTCC, it's a bit different. We give the bursary to all our members who are qualified. And the qualification is basically a basic requirement. And each and every member gets a bursary to assist with expenses of back to school.
The bursary comprises a one-time payment of $300, whilst the scholarship holder receives a contribution of $1,000 towards their school expenses. In other news, previously plagued by a myriad of issues, including termite and rodent infestation, as well as poor air quality, the Rivier Dori Primary School can now enjoy a more comfortable setting 3 of these issues. A handing over ceremony of the Rivier Dori School was conducted in the presence of Parliamentary Rep for Shoswell, as well as Ambassador for Japan to St. Lucia, His Excellency Tatsu Hirayama.
It was a glorious day for the Rivier Dori Anglican Combined School when it hosted the handing over ceremony for Japan's grant assistance for grassroots human security project, which enabled the school to undertake much needed repairs. Principal of the school, Sikodinia Alse, says the journey was a challenging one.
All had to make sacrifices because we had 3 classes housed in the church. At times, the heat, the noise, and the occasional rain did not make staying in the church any more comfortable. However, we knew that sacrifices had to be made in order to get relief or to reap the rewards. Amidst of all of the trials, the light came at the end of the tunnel. Construction was completed. So in January, with the approval of our consultant, and the Embassy of Japan, the students moved into their new classroom with new furniture, as all ones were infested. Everyone felt more relaxed, each one in his or her own space. The environment more conducive to learning. Ambassador, we are forever grateful to the government and people of Japan for this grant.
Japanese ambassador to St. Lucia, His Excellency Tatsu Hirayama, noted the strong bond of cooperation between Japan and St. Lucia over the years.
I am strongly committed to maintaining and further strengthening our partnership with the help of your good guidance and service during my tenure. Having said that, I want to express my deep appreciation that one of my first official duties as an ambassador is related to our grassroots grant assistance project to renovate this Rivier Dori Anglican Combined School, because any country places its paramount importance to education sector.
Roselle Saltibus MP Bradley Felix also expressed his gratitude to the government and the people of Japan.
We're in an environment now where it is so difficult to get assistance. Our own resources are limited, and even the resources that we would normally gravitate to, these are also drying up. So we really need to appreciate when our friends from Japan come to our assistance. And I heard both the DEO and the principal speak to the condition of that school, of the wing, and I remember when I came into office and I visited it, it was really, a matter for me to just shake my head, because to have considered the children, and the teachers having to enjoy that environment, it was, unacceptable. So I'm very happy that you recognize, the need, Ambassador, and your team to have given this a priority. I acknowledge also the principal making mention to the assistance from Mr. Hennicat. I want to thank you, sir. When we have citizens who make such contributions, we must appreciate.
The Rivier Dori Anglican School has been in existence for almost 4 decades. It is managed by the Anglican Church and faced a rodent problem that is now no more.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. We'll be right back.